Oh, fantastic.
Yay!
Here, both of us. Wow.
Success.
So good to see you and so nice to be connected, both of us.
Yes, likewise. We did it. We did it. First little
Yay.
initiation of
Fantastic.
yeah.
So welcome everyone who is here. And maybe before we connect and before we really go into the conversation, we'd like to place an energy for our conversation. So I'm going to offer an opening prayer, an opening invocation so that we can all connect. So I just invite everyone who's already here to just connect to the heart space. Take some deep breaths. Just really drop into the heart space and be conscious that all of us are connecting together from this space and in this space, wherever we are. And then I'm going to call in the presence and the energy of the Wheel of the Magdalenes. I call in the presence and the energy of Grandmother Anna in the north to connect us to our roots, the wisdom of this earth, of our ancestors. In the east, I invite in the energy and the presence of the goddess Isis. May she connect us to our higher consciousness. May she lift the veils of perception and give us access to our inner mysteries and the mysteries of the goddess. In the south, I invite in and I call in the energy of Mary Magdalene. May she really ignite the flame of faith within. May she connect us to our inner alchemical power, and may we radiate this flame of faith and consciousness outward. And then in the west, I call in and I invite in the presence of Mary. May she connect us to the wisdom of the sacred waters and to the power of the heart, the unconditional love of the heart space. May she amplify this energy of healing within. And may these guardians really guide each of us on the path of love, a path of beauty, and a path of consciousness. And thank you all again for being here. And thank you, Bianca, for connecting. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you for that intro, love. That was so beautiful. What a way to begin this conversation with the beautiful guardians and energies that have brought us together in this beautiful life, and I'm sure beyond that. So
absolutely.
Thank you, and welcome everyone to those of you who are here on this call. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for being here.
I'll just give a little context to everyone. You know, Anise and I met just about a month ago, just a little over a month ago, and it was such a profound soul remembrance connection. And it has just been growing and expanding every day. And we'll go a little bit more into some of the pieces of that beautiful meeting, but the intention for today is to kind of let that overflow of our reunion be shared, because I truly believe, I was writing a little bit yesterday, and I truly believe that in our meeting, a synergy is happening and something truly unlocked. And he said something so beautiful, a river of rose consciousness. And I truly believe that our meeting has unlocked even deeper rose consciousness within me, within you, within the union. And for that reason, we'd really feel to share that. It's almost like share that energy, share the information that's coming through, share the codes of the rose with all of you. It's so present in each one of our hearts. And let's see what happens today. Maybe it's something we do once, maybe it's something that we're inspired to do more frequently, but it's also interesting with everything happening in the world. You know, it feels very much aligned to also have this conversation now. And I'd love to We didn't talk about this, Denise, but I'd love it. I'm just remembering that I'd love to have a moment of prayer together at some point, because yeah, eventually, like, being part of the Sisterhood of the Rose, being here as a Rose priestess, to me really means being, you know, a guardian of this earth and a woman of prayer, to bring unconditional love and peace back to this place. So there's a little quick unload, but Anissa, I don't know if you want to expand on that, and then I think our flow will be a little bit sharing about our meeting a little bit in more depth, our own path as Rose priestesses, what brought us onto the path, and how we are in service today, and then we will go a little bit into wherever I guess the goddess wants to guide us. I'm not even going to say anything. I've learned not to say much, so.
Absolutely. I totally share your feeling, and this river of rose consciousness. I wrote about it, and what I feel is that there are people you meet on your path with whom you have such a strong resonance, like they share a soul frequency, or there's such a strong field that is shared that it amplifies and it accelerates the path. And for me, being a Rose priestess and being a Magdalene priestess, this is much of what it is allowing this river of flow and consciousness to exist for other people as well, to accelerate the path just through the energy and the field that we're holding, which is the field of the Mother Goddess, of the divine. And I do feel it's a very important energy today in the world as well. I feel it's such an energy of resurrection and of celebrating all that represents beauty and all that is alive. I feel that we've been put asleep. Humanity has been put to sleep, and the energy of the Rose and the Magdalene really reawakens us, reignites us, and resurrects us, so that we become fully alive again. And once we are, there are certain things that we're just not able to do anymore, certain actions that will not be able to exist anymore in our lives. And I know we share this feeling very strongly. And yes, I'd love to start with how we met and where we met. And before we do that, perhaps people don't know us. Maybe just situate where we are. I'm speaking from Glastonbury, so I live in Glastonbury, the UK, England. Glastonbury is considered a sacred place, a temple space. Some people describe it as the heart chakra of the planet, but it is also a place where the energy, the heritage, and the memory of Mary Magdalene are very much alive. And Bianca, you are in Costa Rica at the moment, I believe.
Actually, love, I'm in Malibu right now,
okay.
in California. Yes. I mean, you were part of with me in this journey of really not unexpectedly being here. But just as you are anchoring in Glastonbury, it feels really powerful that our work as Rose priestesses is really to pollinate even those places that we don't imagine are meant to, where our work is maybe meant to be. And that's a big teaching that's been coming through. It's like, I live in Costa Rica. I was recently in Glastonbury. That's where we met. Actually, we met in Kent, at the Heart of the Rose Festival. We'll go into that in a moment. And out of anywhere, the last place I thought I was going to be a month ago was in California right now. But the goddess guides us in mysterious ways, and something I've learned, a huge lesson of surrender. And then just in that sense of surrender, just trusting with fiery faith that we're exactly where we need to be. And somehow these works are asking us, and Anissa and I had a beautiful conversation about this, are asking us to share it perhaps in circles, perhaps in ways that we did not expect. This energy, it's really just an energy, the energy of the rose, the energy of the heart is summoning so many people around the world to just wake up from that sleep that you were talking about. And it's such an immediate awakening that the medicine wants to just pollinate and move. So as soon as I arrived here in California, Malibu, I'm like starting to just witness my day to day, and realizing that the circles of people that I'm moving through, they're ready for this information. They have a big reach, and they're influencing millions of people. And just a little rose activation in their heart can make a huge impact in the globe. So understanding that, that's where I'm calling from with a little story. And yeah, I'll let you, if you'd like to start, sharing a bit about how we met. And
so we met in Kent, as you said, at a festival called Heart of the Rose Festival, where you were sharing your medicine. You were one of the facilitators, and I had been hearing about this festival for months, weeks, different women talking to me about this festival, and I already had a very busy summer. I was like, am I going to this festival? It's a rose festival. I'm already immersed in the energy of the rose every day, all the time. It's my whole existence. And then it just kept coming back. So I really tuned in, and the message was, okay, you're going there because there are people there that you need to meet. There are people who come there with a similar calling. And I actually looked at the website, and also Sophie, who is the lady who initiated this festival, has a beautiful text on her website as well about why she initiated this festival, about bringing women together who have a similar calling. And this is really the guidance that I received. There's people that you need to meet who also have a really strong connection to the rose lineage and the rose consciousness, and who have a similar calling to set up sacred spaces and temple spaces to really share this medicine in a very big and public way, and create temples, rose temples in the world. So this is a guidance that I've received ever since I arrived in Glastonbury, to set up these temple spaces. So anyway, then I went to the festival. I met some beautiful women and some beautiful sharings, but I didn't hear anyone who really shared this calling, this specific calling. And then in a break, just by coincidence, I just met you, and we started talking, and there was such flow and such a connection straight away.
thanks for sharing. I'm just smiling big internally, because it's like your words are exactly what had me fly from Costa Rica to England to be part of this festival, and actually see that Victoria just joined, a beautiful sister that was also at that festival. And my intention was like, I don't, besides the circles, the rose circles that I've personally initiated, it's like I have not been in a council of rose priestesses, women who are truly devoted to their path of the rose, the path of the heart, who are going to all be there, the heart of the Rose Festival. And what a better way to anchor in this work, as a collective. But also, I was also going in a way for myself, because I've been following this beautiful golden thread of mystery. And what a better way to support me in deepening in my trust, and my deepening in my, expanded vision of bringing this information through. What a better way than to do it with other sisters who are doing the same thing in their own unique expression all around the world. So really, just like you, what called me was like, this work is real. A part of me wanted to find deeper grounding in it, because sometimes I catch myself sharing it and it sounds a little bit not aloof but etherical. It's like we are these beautiful ascended masters, I would say, all these beautiful sisters and brothers who are just deeply remembering their own divinity. And how do we, I think gathering as incarnate human flesh beings is a really great way to begin the manifestation of deeper materialization of this work on this plane. So that's really what drew me. And then as you were sharing, a really big tribute to our sister Turya.
Definitely.
Wow, Turya, thank you, sister, who connected us, and so much magic just has unfolded from that. And it was funny, because then a week later we find ourselves together in Glastonbury, and part of us is just chuckling. It's like, well, maybe we went to this festival to meet each other, big part of it, because the magic that just initiated and has been unfolding ever since has been really powerful. And I'd love to just share a little bit about our timing describing Glastonbury and the recognition of Rose Priestess, it was just this almost like there was almost just this knowing, such profound knowing on both of our behalves that words were like really not necessary. It was just a recognition, this soul recognition that was like, hey sister, I'm here, you're here, and we're both showing up for the same, bringing it in like that same energy onto this planet right now. And yeah, I don't know if you want to, we can kind of go back and forth, continue on like what happened in Glastonbury, and also sprinkle in some of the Glastonbury magic if you want.
Definitely. Well, I feel it's such an important part of the path as well, is to have these strong mirrors. And I definitely feel that since a couple of years, but maybe this year, I feel it even stronger, that there's such a weaving going on, and that the Divine Mother, or the Divine, is really just bringing people together and making connections. And we all feel, or in the collective at least, there's this feeling of fear about the future. And a lot is being brought up at the moment. A lot of people are anxious. And at the other hand, there's this really strong weaving of love, of beauty, of people who are already creating something different and who really want to commit to create something different. And it's like these strings are being pulled together, and there's something else being prepared. And then you meet these people like you, and it's such an acceleration on the path. And it's also such a reminder. You said something before about things just falling away, like you didn't expect to be in Malibu right now. And to me, that's also such an important part of the path of the Rose and of the Magdalene and of the Divine Mother, is just learning to trust and just going with the flow. It's being this river of Rose consciousness, not only letting it come through, but really becoming the river. And when you become the river, you trust, you surrender, you let go, and you trust that wherever you're guided, or to whomever you're guided, there's always a good reason for this. There's always something that will be activated or clarified or shown. And I really feel that's the case for our meeting as well.
Thank you, love. That's so profound, so beautiful to just bring in one of the biggest, I would say, codes of the roads is just this fiery faith,
Yes.
trust, ultimate trust, because we've been so conditioned to have the mind take the steering wheel, and it's really time to just surrender to the heart right now. And the heart has no plan. The heart has no, I mean, yes, higher self plan, there is some sort of beautiful cosmic map, but it's so beyond what the mind could possibly comprehend.
Yes.
That humble surrender of the mind is such a necessary piece of fully embodying this rose consciousness, this river. I love that, this river of rose consciousness, where we just let it all go when it's not in flow anymore. And in that letting go, make space for everything that is nourishing and fresh and fully aligned.
Yes.
For our path and our mission to arrive and come back into our hearts. So yes, I fully
aligned and fully alive as well.
Mm-hmm.
I feel. And you said something before as well, where when you're in this space, or you're sharing the space with a sister, or this sacred space, not much words are needed. And so there are actually many things that we still don't know about each other. Like, for example, I don't know how you got on the rose path, like what your inspiration was, like how this happened to you. We shared space, and so many divine things happened in this space, but we there are certain things that we don't know about each other. So maybe you'd like to say something about that.
It's so funny that you brought that up. I love the psychic bond, because as you're saying that, my dear sister Sandra just hopped on. Hi, Sandra. And I've actually been reflecting on you, Sandra, a bit, because it's like Sandra and I discovered in a way the rose path in our own worlds at the same time together.
Mm-hmm.
We were hosting a women's retreat in Spain, probably 7 years ago now, and we had done a couple retreats. Hi, love. We had done a couple retreats in Canada before that, and then we're like, let's put together a beautiful sacred container in Spain, and we did. And at the very end of this beautiful retreat, we did it at a retreat center, Lalita Devi, such a beautiful feminine space. And at the very end of our retreat, we initiated all the ladies with the rose and initiated them into the sisterhood of the rose. And it was just such a intuitive gesture. And we looked at each other and we were just like you said, in awe of the knowing of what we were doing. It was so ancient. And then after that experience, we start to like search in our own ways, like more of the mysteries of the rose and what is the sisterhood of the rose, because the words were like, welcome to the sisterhood of the rose. You are initiated to the sisterhood of the rose. And we're like, what is this even coming from? And then that led us to a deeper dive, actually both in our own respects of deepening in with rose consciousness. And that's what initiated it for me. I was already really called to holding space for women, to the divine feminine. It was just something that really started to bubble up, coming from, 10 years of doing retreats. At one point, for both men and women, with my partner, at one point there was this really deep call of like, it's time to circle with just women. I don't know where it came from. It was just intuitive. And then through that intuition, I started hosting women's circle, women's retreats. And then that moment was the first time that the rose came through. And then since then, it has just been like a divine storm in my heart, having me do things that I would have, just really guiding me in such a beautiful way. And I think I need to say to that, like, the more we can just trust the whispers of our heart, of that heart consciousness, that rose consciousness that really is fluffing up inside of us. Not that I want to say it expedites our path, but it really continues to unlock. And that's one of the beautiful analogies of the rose that I love to share, is like, it is that ever unfolding rose. And all we know for certain with the heart is all the information that we have in the present moment. The only thing that is alive and real right now is the present moment. And within that present moment is everything we need to know, is the infinity of the entire universe. And all we need to do is just get quiet enough to listen to that one petal of that one instruction, that one whisper that's like, okay, take this step. And whoever's listening, maybe tune in and see what that one step is. It can be a humongous thing, or it can be the tiniest thing, like pick up the phone and call this sister, call this brother, or, finally go do this thing that you've been procrastinating around, or go water your plants. They're calling you. Whatever it is, like, take action. The rose path is not one just of contemplation. It is one of action. And as soon as we take action, the next petal of the rose opens and we arrive in a new present moment. And in that new present moment, we're again in the field of a new infinite possibility. And it's just that process. So being met with the rose, it gave me this new awareness of listening, of navigation. And I do want to say thanks for your patience. I'm excited to hear your story too. Probably 12 years ago is really when I would say the rose in disguise, the heart consciousness unlocked in my field. And it was when I transitioned my whole world, went to Bali on a strong calling to do a yoga teacher training, I think in 2010. And in that process, I found this man told me, Bianca, life is only a 12-inch journey. And I'm like trying to figure out spirituality for the first time. He's like, it's just 12 inches, my dear. It's from the head to the heart. And I was like, wow. So that blew my mind. And really, for me, my spiritual path began then when I heard those words, and I was like, wow, all I want to do is learn the language of my heart hear it first of all, learn it, and then live it. And that changed everything. And then, yeah, the rose came in a little bit later. But really, for me, the rose is just a manifestation of the heart. It's like the most beautiful representation of the heart we can have in physical, tangible form. And she's such a guide. And anyways, I'm going to pass it to you to hear your rose story, because I have not heard it either. So
I love
and then,
that.
yeah,
I love
and
your story, and I love how in the same sentence you use the words a storm and fluffing up. And I think it's such a beautiful summary of the path of the rose, or the path of the Divine Mother. Sometimes she will just like hit you with a lightning bolt, and then the next moment you're in this state of divine bliss and grace in the heart of the rose, and everything is so soft and blossoming and opening. I think it's such a testament to this path. And yes, I feel that it's this path of the heart as well, that the rose blossoms from the heart and hearth as well. It's the hearth of our being. Um, it's a testament to courage as well, and it connects back to what you said before. Like, is there this one thing that you feel you need to do in life, or that you're being called to do in life? For me, it takes this first real step of courage, and this is what like unlocks the rose. And then if you keep listening and you keep following, for me it's a thread. The rose is a thread. It's the thread of the mother, and you just keep pulling very slowly, step by step, in the present moment, and then it unfolds. The rose unfolds. And for me, well, actually, we're on similar timelines, unsurprisingly. It's 7 years that I've really been fully connected to the path of the rose and the path of Mary Magdalene. It's been 7 years that I've been in Glastonbury. And it's here really that this path clarified and really unfolded. I had been traveling for 2 years to different sacred sites on the planets, and just thought I was just traveling through Glastonbury as another destination on the path. And in all these different places, I have been receiving guidance and teachings from the energy of the land and the spirits of the land. And here it was the same. And this one voice, there's this one voice that had been with me during the whole trip. And I thought it was my inner voice. I thought it was the voice of my higher self speaking to me. Until I came to Glastonbury, and this voice asked me to stay and to stop traveling, which was it was so contrary to what I actually thought I wanted at that time. I wanted to keep traveling and to have this life of total freedom, that I thought, wait, I don't think this is my inner voice, because this is not what I'm feeling. And then I asked, well, who is this? What is this voice? And the voice revealed itself as Mary Magdalene. And she said, you always have a choice. There's always free will. We always do this in co-creation. But I'm asking you to stay here. If you stay in Glastonbury, if you root in Glastonbury, there will be an initiation for you. And from this initiation, something new will come into being. And she asked me to make a decision and to say yes or no. And I said yes. So from then on, she started initiating me, and I started receiving this information about the rose and the healing power of the rose, and activating these rose codes within. 7 years later, this is where we are. I have a mystery school. This is now my whole life, the energy, the path of the rose, and the priestesshood of the rose. But like you, for me, it really started earlier. It started probably in 2012, when I left my life in Belgium, when I left all my possessions behind, and I decided to just follow my heart and follow my guidance. I just had one plane ticket to South America, to Bolivia. And from then on, decided to just follow my heart and to just listen. And to me, that was the first big initiation into the way of the Divine Mother. Is okay, surrender to this energy and just allow yourself to go with the flow. And it's what she's still doing. She's still it's never finished. It's always unfolding. This divine rose that you spoke about, it just keeps unfolding. It just becomes more and more expansive. And just like the heart space, it just keeps on expanding, and this capacity to love keeps expanding. And I think it will never stop until we've learned to love every inch of the universe and every molecule of existence. So it's exciting. It's infinite.
Thank you so much for sharing that. It's so beautiful. I had so many little hits like of inspiration as you're speaking. And I think that's also, like you said, the synergy of when we just dive into and marinate in these topics. You know, we don't need a script, we don't need nothing. We just need to show up in total surrender to whatever the divine, the mystery, the goddess wants to reveal to us, for consciousness, and just listen. And it's such a beautiful like microcosm if we can, in a conversation, in a ritual, in a ceremony, on our yoga mat, surrender so deeply that we give permission to something else to flow through and not have a plan around it. We can start to train that trust muscle and trust in the bigger things than in life that has to reveal to us, things that make no rational sense but really are the way, the rose way for us, you know. And yeah, yeah, I would love to share a quote from Joseph Campbell that has really been a guiding light with me since the very beginning of my spiritual path, which is, have the courage to follow your bliss, and the doors will open where there only used to be walls. And to me, that's such a beautiful summary, because you're talking about courage. It's like such a beautiful summary of the rose path. It's like of the heart path. It's have courage and say yes to what you know is being whispered and imparted with you. And the universe will hold your hand, and she will guide you, and she will open up ways, and the roses will open, and it will all be good. Not to say that the challenges don't come up. Of course they will, and they will get even more intense, but you're ready for it. You will only receive what you're ready for. When your nervous system strengthens, when you receive the tools to learn how to trust, how to learn how to surrender, you will continue to receive opportunities to expand, and expansion happens in those uncomfortable moments. So I love,
totally feel that.
Mm-hmm.
And how it becomes less suffering. The meeting the challenges becomes a lot less suffering, and you start to see these moments as opportunities for deepening yourself, and deepening your path, and it's almost met sometimes with enthusiasm, like, oh, I'm meeting this different parts of myself, and I'm going to deepen myself. It's exciting.
Yes,
Yeah, I don't know
100%.
how you feel, how this relates to the times that we're going through. But to me, the rose medicine is really, it's such a powerful anchoring in trust and faith. And just when I use the word faith, it can be faith in God, it can be faith in the divine, but it's faith in life. It's faith in yourself. It's trust and faith in humanity as well, and in the innate goodness of human beings. I think this is also really what the consciousness or the presence of the rose cultivates. And I feel this is so needed, this energy of deep trust and faith and hope in the fact that actually life and the universe is working with you, and they're human beings, and all life is structured from this essence, this perfume of love. And this is who we truly are, and everything else that's layered upon it are these distorted layers, but they're not who we truly are.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I love the idea of the fragrances and the essences, the aroma, that this true innate nature of what we are is. And reminds me of the Sanskrit yogic term Satchitananda. It's like our natural state is bliss.
Yes.
That is our essence, and everything that's not bliss is just a distortion out of what our true pulsation of energy within us is. And so I love that you're bringing up this transition of like, how is this path related to the present moment? Like, if we look around, there's a lot of people wearing these foggy lenses of distortion, and it's bringing them into a space of acting from fear, acting with rage and anger and separation. And the way we can work with the rose is to first of all embody it in our own worlds, in our own lives. And just by fully being an embodiment of that, we start to fragrant that information with our families, with our communities, and that's how the changes begins, you know. So, and if you say, well, how can I do that? I mean, the first thing that comes to me, the most powerful act we can all do to bring this rose consciousness into our life, it's twofold. It's one, have roses at home. Take time to smell the roses. And then there's a beautiful meditation that you can just hold a vision of a rose in your heart center and let that rose slowly open and unfold. And actually, I'm going to invite everyone, just whoever's watching, just close your eyes and let's move into this just for 1 minute. It's so powerful. So just with your eyes closed, relaxing your body, taking a couple long, deep breaths. I'm just going to invite you to visualize a beautiful red rose hovering 3 feet above your crown, twirling in all of its majesty. And if you feel ready to experience the magic of the rose, just say, I am. And with your words, with your consent, we invite that rose to start her descent down, down, letting the stem pierce through our crown, letting the rose head pierce through our crown, slowly descending through our head, into our throats, and into our heart center. And staying here, imagining this beautiful, elegant, gracious rose in the heart of your heart, in the aditum of your temple, the holy of holies within you. Keep focused on this visualization, and with every breath, permission for that rose just to expand and open up a little more. Breathing now into the heart, bringing your awareness there, and just staying present with this image of the rose, with this feeling of the rose in your heart. You don't have to do anything. Just let remembrance happen with and for you as the rose begins to expand, unfurling petal by petal, letting your body be soft and knowing that something so powerful is happening to you right now in your DNA, in your cells, as we give permission for remembrance to happen, for the unlocking of our truest potential. All begins here in our willingness to remember, in our willingness to show up and shine, to reconnect to our service. And we'll just take one more big breath into the heart. Through the mouth, exhaling. Just giving thanks for the heart, giving thanks to the rose, the thanks to this path of beauty that we all get to walk together in this life. Whenever you feel ready, you can come back. And I don't know if you felt that, but it can be 1 minute and you can already start to unlock something so big and profound. Thank you.
Thank you. That was beautiful. And I think it really shows how this path it's simple. It's a very beautiful path, but it's a path of simplicity as well. It's not complicated. It's not intricate in the techniques. It's simple and it's straight to the point, and everyone can connect to it. So I think it's really beautiful that you shared that.
Thank you, love.
And I think it's a beautiful way to conclude our first sharing.
Definitely.
I feel so many doors were opened.
So
there are so many doors we can go through.
Totally.
We could be here for hours.
We could be here for lifetimes.
Yes.
Thank you so much for saying yes. Sister, thank you so much for recognizing each other in this path. I feel so honored, so blessed to be in sisterhood. And like you said, so much inspiration to continue sharing this work.
Me too. I feel really blessed and honored to share this space. And thank you for everyone who hopped on the live and who shared some time with us and who shared this in this river of rose consciousness. It's really the vision of what we're creating together, of what we want to share, with all of you contributing.
Definitely. And as you say that, I do feel I'd love to, if whoever's still on and has 1 more minute, just to intentionally together collectively send our love and prayers to those people who are facing more challenge than us right now. And I don't know if you want to guide that in me just for like a few moments. Like, if, you know, the power of prayer together. Wow.
Absolutely. So maybe we can just remind ourselves and remember the energies and the wheel that we placed starting this conversation and this circle. We honor also the guides of the path of the Magdalene, Mary Magdalene, Mary, Isis, Anna, and so many other wisdom carriers who opened the path for us and who are there to support us. We're still connected to this beautiful red rose in the heart that Bianca activated for us, that she helped us feel. And from this red rose of the hearts, we can just send our love, our prayers, our wishes, our intentions. And we can visualize these as a perfume and essence diffusing out of the heart center, out of the heart chakra, and out of the rose of the heart, imbuing the space around us, and from there really wafting into the world and covering the planet with this essence, this perfume of the rose, which really is the perfume and the breath of the Divine Mother. May her essence go to all who need some support, some comfort right now. May all of us who are able to hold space for others really step into that space and hold space for people who are less fortunate or who are struggling more. can just feel this essence, this perfume diffusing out, wafting out, just going to all these people that need it. And we can come back to ourselves, come back to our hearts, and just know again that this is a very simple prayer that we can do daily whenever we feel like it. It just amplifies the field of the heart and the field of love in the world. Thank you so much, beautiful sister, for sharing this space, for creating this space, for taking the initiative to start this stream of rose consciousness.
River of rose consciousness.
Definitely.
I love it. Thank you, sister. Thank you all who joined us today. And for sure, this is the first of many. And if you have anything to share with us, we're more than happy to receive your messages. And Anis, have a beautiful evening, and we will connect after we close this call.
Have a beautiful day. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.
Infinite rose petals upon your crown, dear sisters.